Thanks for joining us on TVC Midday News. We're staying with developments on the minimum wage, where the chairman of Southern Progressives Forum and governor of Imo State, Uzodinma, says the tripartite committee is close to having a harmonized figure as a minimum wage. He spoke after all parties went out on consultations aimed at arriving at 62,000 naira. The organized labor is proposing 250,000 naira, which is a shift from the earlier 494,000 naira. This brings to an end the deliberations on the new minimum wage by the tripartite committee set up by the federal government after several months. As recommendations will be forwarded to President Tinubu, who is expected to send an executive bill to the National Assembly for legislative action.
The private sector and the government side have agreed on a figure based on what they term as a figure that they can afford. While the Nigeria Labour Congress is also looking at other indices to say that they recommend, if for any reason it can be approved, the sum of 250,000. The whole thing is that, like I said while I was talking to NTA, that the tripartite committee does not have a power of approval. It's just to recommend.
Right. And we were able to engage the critical stakeholders involved in the conversation. And at the end of the day, out of the three parties involved in the tripartite committee, both the organized private sector, the government, and organized labor, we met, and the two parties have already agreed to go with 62,000. And then, as at yesterday, the labor insisted on 390,000. They have come down to 250,000. In any event, among the three parties, two has come together to be the majority.
We had to calm down. Initially we started from 615,000 naira, but we moved close to 150%, precisely about 146% from our initial submission. And today we are making a recommendation of 250,000 naira to Mr. President for onward transmission to the National Assembly. So that is where we are today.
It's issue of three people negotiating, and you don't expect them to come in one day and just agree, because there are certain indices that you have to take into consideration, and there are certain things that they are also looking at. And then having come to this end, I believe that